Well, good morning. I might as well say good morning, Vietnam, because all hell is about to break loose. With Jamie Noel and his family, their corruption being looked at. I just got off the phone with a certain individual, and let's put it this way: his friends in Howard and Carroll County and their corruption, their money, inside trading, among other things, are now seriously being looked at back when their friend, Jamie Noel, is being looked at for the exact same thing many others are doing in Howard, Carroll, Miami counties, among others, Frankfurt, areas of operation where drug houses, like the two drug houses for this cartel sitting in Delphi. The same thing goes for when it comes to the cartel operations. The repair shop, car repair shop in Frankfurt, ran by the cartel. And I've got a former dealer that was busted and raided in 2015, dropping exact details of who and how they were getting fronts from that exact location in Frankfurt. The same Frankfurt Derek German was going to. But yes, thanks to one corrupt individual's actions and being investigated, now charged with over 25 felonies, along with his wife and daughter, who their friends are. It's seriously now being looked at. Oh, hell, we got a bigger issue here in play. Ding, ding, ding. Like I've been saying from the very get go. The operation that's making people millions at times when it comes to real estate, the inside trading, all it took was one individual, upper, high ranking, GOP, high ranking, political figure, a former sheriff, fire chief. All it took was one mess up by one of these individuals for the rest of the issue to be looked at. And it's now seriously now being looked at. And like I explained to this detective, I was like, this money scheme is making much, so much money. It's now being uh what's helping certain individuals not being looked at when it comes to more than one missing and murdered case. This is not just Howard, Carroll County, Indianapolis, the areas of operation of this cartel, Indiana wise, each area of operation, when there's a missing and murdered case, it's helping where certain individuals are being refused to be looked at, named as suspects, brought in, charged on multiple cases. And for this detective to start pulling up, looking at, and some of these names back to their operation, some of the issues, and like I explained to him, many of these individuals, they're allowing this epidemic, the drug epidemic, to come in, sweep in their local areas. Then they're bringing in uh, drug rehab centers that they're running. They're putting money towards. They're getting the properties bought, the buildings put up, getting ran, and they're getting the money in return for getting these rehab centers, like a certain one right there in Kokomo, They're allowing this epidemic to continue to make even more money, not off of just the money, the drugs, everything that can be taken, the property that can be taken in the raids, but then they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars when they're operating drug rehab centers, making even more money off this epidemic. But what I just got done talking to and flabbergasting a certain detective, I'm about to get a bigger issue in play shown for the world to see. And this is what the chain of command, ISP, and the locals did not want to happen. But all it took was one individual outside of a biased and corrupt area to mess up and be started to be investigating. When it goes back to his friends, his acquaintances, you've got a bigger problem on your hands. If you knew where to look at, who to look at, where to look at, and how to look at it. But oh my God, right when I was starting to give up hope. But like I explained to him, I've got an IMPD officer, unbiased at the time, admitting that there's more than one missing killed case tied back to Karina and Delphi. When it comes to missing murdered down there in Indianapolis, he's like, "You've got this conversation in Rick, correct?" "Yes, sir. I can send you the hard copy of this operation, this cartel operation, the names in and around it, showing back to cases there in Indianapolis, and this officer being unbiased, uncorrupt at the time, admitting that yes, there is ties and connections that go back to Karina and Delphi." But this tells me this is why so many have been refused being looked at.